Today, I'm going to show you this huge collection of Jurassic World figures that I took down from my display shelves. I bet there's around 100 figures in here. Plus, I've even got some brand new ones from the Amber collection, the Hammond collection, and from the new Jurassic World Dominion series that we're going to open up. So let's get started. First up is the Strike and Roar Giganotosaurus. This figure is dark green in color, like many of the Giganotosaurus figures that I have. It's got the huge spines in the back all the way up to its head, and it's pretty adjustable. You can move the legs around, you can adjust the arms, and the biggest feature of this figure is the button on its back that you use to swing its head around. Look at that chomping action. Plus, there is a button at the bottom of its tail as well for chomping the mouth. Next up, we've got the Amber Collection Velociraptor from the Lost World Jurassic Park. Alright, here's the figure. This is a bright orange Velociraptor with a tan underbelly. It's got those dark brown stripes along the top, all the way to the top of the head. Looks like its eyes are like a dark gold color. And like all of the Amber Collection figures, this figure is very adjustable with all of its limbs and is very poseable. Plus, this figure comes with a stand that you can use to display your brand new Velociraptor. Next up is the Hammond Collection Parasaurolophus. So this figure is predominantly a light tan color. It's got some dark purple brown coloring along the legs and along the back, and most importantly, that bright orange stripe all the way from its head down to its tail. And overall, I'd say the detailing and paint on this is pretty decent. It's not the most detailed that I've seen, but I definitely appreciate that you can move all the limbs around. You can bend at the knees, you can move the arms, you can adjust the neck and the head as well. So it is a very adjustable figure. And finally, we've got the Jurassic World Dominion Dr. Alan Grant and Dimetrodon set. So here is Dr. Alan Grant holding a Dimetrodon skull. That thing is humongous. And here is the Dimetrodon figure. Its body is a gray-green color, and it's got the iconic super huge spine along its back that's orange. Right along its spine, you can find the DNA barcode scanner, and you can adjust the legs, the tail, the neck, and the jaw as well. Let's dive into our first bin of Jurassic World figures. This T-Rex has a tearing action. When you press this button on its back, it swings its head around and clamps its jaw shut. Plus, it's got another button on its back to swing the tail around too. Next up, we've got a bright orange T-Rex with battle damage all over its body. It's got some on its chin, on its neck, on its thigh, on its stomach, and it's got a button at the top of its head for the chomping action. Here is another bright orange T-Rex, but this one does not have any battle damage at all, and it also has the button on the top of its head for chomping. Here we've got a smaller T-Rex figure. I believe this is the Sound Surge T-Rex. It's got this button on its back that you can use to activate the sound effects. This, I believe, is the Jurassic World Dominion Thrash and Devour T-Rex. It's got the black top, brown sides, and the lighter underbelly, and you can use the tail to control the face. Got two more T-Rexes left in this haul. This is a dark green T-Rex. It's got the button on the top of its head for chomping, and the rest of its body is adjustable too. And way back here, we've got the T-Rex with the extreme battle damage. Check that out, you can turn it on and off. Next up are the Indominus Rexes. This first Indominus Rex figure is larger than a lot of the T-Rex figures I have, and it has two actions. The first is on the front of its back, that's used for claw slashing, and the second is on its tail, used for the jaws. This second Indominus Rex is the Extreme Battle Damage Edition. You can see its battle damage on this side and on the other side, and you can turn it on and off using the button on the top of its back. Next up are the Scorpios Rexes. This is a basic figure of the Scorpios Rex, so you can move its arms and legs somewhat, and its tail is slightly adjustable. And this figure, interestingly, is very narrow. And here is the better version of the Scorpios Rex figure. This figure is very adjustable, and it has two actions. The first is for roaring and chomping, and the second action button is for slashing the claws. Here we've got a ton of Ceratosaurus figures. This first one has a gray, red, and brown body with the white horn. This next one has a tan body with red and black and a yellow horn. I've also got a dark green Ceratosaurus with a slide lever action. A brown and orange Ceratosaurus with an action button on its back for chomping and roaring. And another gray, red, and black Ceratosaurus with a slide action lever on its back. Next up, I've got a few Carcaradantasaurus figures. This first one is a bright red Carcaradantasaurus with the yellow on the top of its head and some darker detailing on its back. And the second Carcaradantasaurus is yellow and green in color, and it has the same chomping action button as the first one. Here is a pretty scary looking predator. This is a Tarbosaurus. It is gray, black, and red right underneath its chin, and it's got these huge spikes right along its spine. Next, I've got two Albertosauruses. The first one has battle damage on its side that you can open up and close, and a little bit of battle damage right on its leg. And the second Albertosaurus is a bit brighter in color. It has a bright orange along the side, and it has an action button on its tail for chomping. Next up, this first Carcaradantasaurus is dark blue, and it's got some orange and brown detailing, and it has an action button for chomping. This second Carcaradantasaurus is tan in color, and it has some orange and brown detailing, and it actually has a face cage that you can use the action button to break free from. This dinosaur figure, if I remember correctly, is the Yangchuanosaurus. This figure has an action that when you move the tail, it swings its torso around, plus a button to activate the jaw. Here, I've got a few Sugomimus figures. This first one is bright yellow with brown detailing along the top, and two action buttons, one to activate the face and jaw, and a second to activate the tail. This second Sugomimus is dark blue in color with yellow detailing along the top and the spine, and has one action button to activate the jaw. Next, we've got some Endoraptor figures. This first one is a basic figure, so you can only move the arms, legs, and tail a little bit, and you can't activate the jaw at all. But it still has some pretty awesome coloring and details with the spikes. And this second Endoraptor figure is extremely adjustable. You can move the arms, the legs, the elbows, the knees. The tail has two joints that you can turn, and you can open and close the jaw too. I've also got quite a few Allosaurus figures in here too. This first one is gray and yellow in coloring, and has an action button on its back to activate the jaw. This next Allosaurus is tan and blue with actually two tones of blue on its body, and it has two action buttons, one to activate the jaw and one to activate the arms. Here are two more Allosaurus figures. This first one is dark green, white, and red in color, and has a slide action button to activate the jaw and roaring sound effects. And this Allosaurus is brown and blue in color and has the slide action lever to activate the jaw and sound effects. And the last dinosaur of this first bin is the Irritator. It has a brown body with blue and light blue coloring, and you can use the tail to control the face. On to the second bin. This first dinosaur is the Extreme Chompin' Spinosaurus with the dark green body and the red spine. This next figure, I believe, is the Camp Cretaceous Spinosaurus with the same body but with a light tan color and darker brown along the top right next to the red spine. I've also got quite a few Carnotaurus figures in here as well. This one is a dark brown Carnotaurus and has an action button on its tail for chomping. This next Carnotaurus figure is a bit smaller, but it's from the new Jurassic World Dominion movie. It's dark green in color with the orange detailing right along the top. This next Carnotaurus is bright orange in color with a darker top and also has the action button on its tail for chomping. And this final Carnotaurus is a bit smaller and darker red in color and has an action button on the top of its back for chomping. This next figure is a Ceats Micororum. It's got the bright orange and the dark blue coloring and all these spikes right along the top of its head and its back too. And over here I've got quite a few Baryonyx figures. This first one is dark gray and blue with bright blue right along the top. This next figure is dark brown and dark gray with the bright orange right along its nose. And these other Baryonyx figures have all sorts of colors as well. This one is bright green with brown detailing. This next one has actually a little bit of battle damage on its side, right on its neck and on its leg. And this final Baryonyx is gray and a dark blue-gray in color with the reflective blue right along the top of its head. I've also got a few Cryolophosaurus figures as well. This first one is dark blue with white, red, and orange detailing and has an action button that you can use to control the head. And this second Cryolophosaurus figure is bright yellow with brown detailing along the top and the orange right along the top of the head. Right here are a few basic Dilophosaurus figures. This first one is a soft green color all over its body, and it has the red coloring right along its frills and the crown. And this second Dilophosaurus is a dark red color, and it has the green and orange coloring right along its frills, and the yellow on the crown too. Next up is the Rajasaurus from the Jurassic World Dominion collection. This dinosaur has an action that when you press down on the body, it chomps. Next up, I believe this is the Majungasaurus. It's got a dark green body with yellow and blue as well. And here is one of the stars of the new Jurassic World Dominion movie. This is the Giganotosaurus, and it comes with sound effects too. Here are a few Ankylosaurises from the original Jurassic World movie. This first one is brown and tan in color, has a little bit of battle damage on the side. This one right here is a special edition because it has a removable protective shell on top of its spikes, as well as on the back of its tail right here, and is a gray color, but it also has some reflective green and blue coloring all throughout. Next up, we've got a basic raptor figure. This is Velociraptor Blue, and this figure is fairly adjustable. You can move the arms, the legs, and tail just a little bit. This is an interesting looking dinosaur. This is a Concavinator. It's got some super bright coloring along its back and on its face too. This figure, I believe, is an Apatosaurus. This dinosaur has the super long neck and all these spikes right along its back, and it has an action button to control the head. We've also got a few Triceratops figures back here. This first one is a clay red color with brown detailing right along the top. And this second one is a dark brown color with two tones of blue right along the top. Next up, we've got a Megaraptor from the Jurassic World Dominion series. This figure has a chomping action that you can activate by pressing down on its body. This dinosaur figure is the Pseudoceratops. It's got the blue, red, and green body with the lighter underbelly and an action button to activate the head and the tail. This huge figure is the Pentaceratops. It's got a tan body with gray detailing along the top and an action button to break free from its face cage. Looks like we have a few more Indominus Rex figures back here. This first one is the larger of the two. It has battle damage right on the side that you can open and close, and you can use the tail to activate the jaw. And this second Indominus Rex figure is a bit smaller. It has permanent battle damage on the side, and you can use the tail to activate the jaw and the neck. This, I believe, is a Sinoceratops. It's got the green body with the tan detailing all over. It's got a little bit of orange on the top of its head, too. And I've got a few Stegosaurus figures in here as well. This one is a teal blue color with a lighter underbelly and has an action button to swing the tail back and forth. This next Stegosaurus figure is a darker blue-gray color and is very much similar and has the same action button to swing the tail around. And this final Stegosaurus is brown, tan, and green in color and actually has a different action button that when you press right here, it swings its entire back body back and forth. That's different than the other two figures that I have. This next figure, I believe, is a Kentrosaurus, and it has a brown body and a slide lever action to activate the swinging back and forth with those two front spikes. Over here, we've got a few more Ankylosauruses from Jurassic World. This first one has a clay red body with the brown on top and the tan spikes. And this second one has a dark brown belly with the gray spikes and the green and gray all over the top. I've also got a few more Velociraptors from the Amber collection. Here is the bright green one with gray detailing and the gray underbelly. Here is the brown Velociraptor with the light underbelly and the gray detailing along the top. We've also got this gray Velociraptor, I believe is Velociraptor Blue. And I've also got this bright teal Velociraptor with the lighter underbelly. This figure is another Parasaurolophus. It's got the yellow body with the bright pink or purple coloring right along the top. Here is an Iguanodon that I bought just recently. It has a tan body with a darker brown top and the striping, and has a head swinging action when you press down on the body. This is the Baryonyx from the Hammond collection, and is very adjustable with all the limbs in its body. I've also got a few Atrociraptors in here. This first one is tan and in the sneaking pose, and this second one is the classic gray color with the brown striping. Next, I've got the Miragaia with the huge spikes on its side, and I believe this is the Shringosaurus with the much smaller spikes right on its shoulders. I've also got tons of Velociraptors in here. This first one is bright red and green and is actually one of the jumping Velociraptors. This other Velociraptor is one of the normal ones, but is gray in color and has the dark blue coloring right along the top. I've got even more Velociraptors. This first one has the extreme battle damage on the side. This next Velociraptor is another one of the jumping Velociraptors and is a bright teal color. And this Velociraptor is dark red with a purple stripe right down the sides. And here's even some more Velociraptor figures. This first one is Velociraptor Blue in the Springing series. Here is another Velociraptor Blue figure, but this one is the Battle Damage edition that you can open and close. Here is a classic brown Velociraptor with the bright green eyes. And here is Velociraptor Beta, a much smaller and younger Velociraptor. Here are a couple Dimetrodon figures. This first one is a gray-blue color along its body with a bright red and yellow speckled spine. This other figure is actually a Battle Damage edition that you can turn on and off. It has the green body with the bright red spine. This brightly colored figure is the Moros Intrepidus, and it's got the teal body with the bright orange tail. I've also got a few Herrerasaurus figures in here as well. First one is a gray-blue color with a lighter detailing along the top. And this second one actually has battle damage on the side, and the rest of its body is green with brown detailing along the top. Next up, I've got a few Monolophosaurus figures in here. This first one is a darker brown color with gray detailing, and this other Monolophosaurus is a bright lime green with darker green detailing right along its back, and the red right next to its nose. Here we've got some herbivore figures. This is the Dracorex in the lime green color. This next herbivore is a Stygimoloch, I believe. It's got the huge spikes right next to its hard head, and the rest of its body is a clay red color with some darker detailing. And this figure is a Patchy Cephalosaurus. It's got the green on the belly and the clay red on top, and an action button for the head hammering. Here are a few more Dilophosaurus figures, but a lot smaller. This first one is brown and blue with some white in the frill. This next one is a deep purple color with red on the back and yellow and red right along the frills. And this final Dilophosaurus is green on the belly, black on the back, and it's got some red and yellow in the frills. We've got a few more herbivores in here. Here is a battle damage edition Triceratops with the battle damage right along the side. We've also got a Minmi figure that is green in color, and it's got the spikes all along its back. And I believe that this one is a Cosmoceratops and is very decorative in the front. Next up, we've got a Protoceratops that is purple in color, and it's got the yellow detailing along the top. This figure I think might be an iguanodon, but I'm actually not sure, but it is dark blue along the sides and the bottom, and it's got the orange-yellow detailing along the top. And this figure is another Parasaurolophus. This is a light brown color on the belly and the sides, and it's got the darker detailing along its back. And here are our last 3 dinosaurs out of these 2 huge bins. We've first got a baby Brachiosaurus that is light green on the sides and a darker green along the top. Here is a Sauropelta with the huge spikes on the top. And finally, the good old Zuniceratops with the 2 spikes in the front and the dark blue along the top and its back, and the rest of its body is a light green color. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaur channel, everyone. Today, we are unboxing all of my largest carnivore toys, starting with this Indominus Rex right here. As you can see, it starts with the blue, and then it fades into a nice purple, and then it's got these black stripes with the orange outline. I really like this one. This is probably one of my most colorful dinos in my collection. Moving right along, we've got this hybrid Indominus Rex right here. Check this out. It's got the gold bottom, the white sides, and then the super bright red along the top. And this hybrid Indominus Rex does have some features too. First of all, this button, and out of the top, bam, comes some spikes. Also, if you pull its arm right here, its jaw moves up and down. It's battery operated, so it'll roar at the same time too. Let's check that out. This one is also one of my brightest predators in my collection as well, so it's one of my favorites too. Let's move on to the next dinosaur. All right, I see another big one right in here. Check this out. This is an old school Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurus Rex. The whole body is made out of rubber, so it's kind of like bendable, and you can see it moves quite a bit. Inside the mouth, you see that if you open it up, that there's actually a lot of space down the throat, so you can fit smaller dinos in there if you want this dinosaur to eat them. Here is another rubber-coated Tyrannosaurus Rex. So you can see the whole body is like a little bit squishy, which gives it a lot more of a realistic look and feel. It feels more like actual skin. And when you squeeze the stomach here, the mouth opens and closes a little bit too. Next up, we've got this super colorful Spinosaurus. So right on the spine right there, you can see this unique coloring. It's like blue rings on its spine, and the rest of the body is like brown. It's got some tan coloring as well. And on the face and on the spine a little bit, has this dark red color too. And look at those green eyes. Those are some hungry looking eyes right there. And here is another T-Rex. Let's check this one out. It has 2 buttons on the back. Ooh, look at that. It's got a twisting action with its jaw. And the other button swings its tail back and forth. all the way in the back here, I can see this ginormous Indominus Rex. So this is the normal coloring for an Indominus Rex. If you look on the side right here, you can see that we've got the battle damage. And if you press the button on top, it'll change back and forth between damaged and fully healed. And as you can hear as well, it's got those awesome sound effects coming out of the speaker. And of course, we've got the button on the tail that controls the mouth. Next up, we've got another rubber-coated T-Rex. This one you can see is an older one. It's from the Jurassic Park series. So the legs move, and the legs are actually solid plastic. It's just the body right here that's that rubber coating. And on this T-Rex, if you wiggle the tail back and forth, you can see that the neck also goes back and forth too. Let's check out this hybrid T-Rex right here. Right on the top, it's got those spikes that pop out when you press this button. See right here? Bam! Look at those huge spikes, and it's got some spikes on the top of its head too. And the legs move, the arms move, and the jaw as well. This is a cool hybrid T-Rex. I haven't seen that many like this one. Let me know down in the comments, have you seen a hybrid T-Rex like this before? Over here in this corner is a T-Rex, but it's got some different coloring. See, it's like camouflage almost. It's got that green and then the black stripes and like a brown-green stripes as well. So this T-Rex, I bet, would blend in really well in the jungle. And like some of the other T-Rex toys I have, when you move the tail, the head will move as well. Let's check that out. Look at that. It's got a huge chomping action. Over here we've got another big old Spinosaurus. This one with a bit more natural coloring. You can see it's mostly green. The spine on its back is red with a white stripe on it. And we've still got that red coloring on its face up here too. And if you press the button on its head, it roars. Next up, we've got this T-Rex Predator. And with the tail, you can twist the tail and the head spins. We've also got the action button on the tail. When you press it, it opens its mouth. And look at these teeth too. Man, some of these are really big. Look at the different size teeth that are all in the mouth. And here is another huge Indominus Rex. This is a lot like the other one that we saw just a moment ago from this bin. And on the tail, just like the other one, we've got this action button that'll make the dinosaur roar. And look at that, there's even some space in its mouth that you could fit a few small dinosaurs in there too. And I think on the Indominus Rex, these teeth are probably even more massive than a T-Rex's teeth in real life. Just look at those. On top over here, we've got a Carnotaurus. Look at these tiny little arms right there. It's got the, ooh, it roars too. And look at when you twist the tail here. Its head moves as well. All right, another T-Rex. This one is, it looks kind of tan, almost a little orangish really. And it's got the adjustable head right here, the button on top of its head. That'll make the dinosaur open its jaw. And as usual, adjustable legs and adjustable tail. Ooh, look at this one. It's another T-Rex. Man, I have so many T-Rexes. So this one, even though it doesn't have the camouflage coloring like that other T-Rex we saw earlier, this one is still brown and like a dark brown on top, so this would still camouflage into the jungle pretty well. I mean, it's kind of the same color as a tree, you know? So I think this would still blend in to the jungle, and you probably wouldn't see it sneaking up on you until it was too late. Over here in the back, we've got a Jurassic World Indominus Rex. And this one is actually a bit different from the other Indominus Rexes that we've seen in this haul so far, because the hands actually activate the jaw. So when you move the arms and hands down, the jaw opens super wide. And the top of this Indominus Rex actually has that rubber coating as well. So it's all like soft up here and it feels like real skin, and then the rest of the body is that normal plastic that you see on these dinosaur toys. And next up here, we've got a T-Rex with a darker brown coating on the side and then an even darker brown on the top. And again, with these buttons, with the top button, when we press that, twist his neck and snaps his jaw shut. That's pretty powerful. And then the other button moves the tail back and forth. Let's keep digging in here. Let's see. Check out this T-Rex. So this one is actually a bit different from the other ones we've seen, because when you twist the tail, it's got that huge stomping action. That's really cool. And a button on top that operates the mouth. All right, and here is our final T-Rex in the bin. This one is one of the more orange ones, and when you move the tail, just like the others, the head moves. Did you know that humans and T-Rexes have almost the same amount of bones in their body? That's crazy to think about. Humans have 206 bones, and T-Rexes have 200. That's pretty close. All right, we've only got 2 more dinosaurs in here. Let's check them out. Here is another classic Indominus Rex. Look at those movable arms, movable legs, and the button for the jaw. And for our final dinosaur in our biggest carnivore haul is the Spinosaurus. It's got the button on top to open up the mouth, and the classic spine. Look how big that spine is too. All right, that's it for today's haul. Comment below which predator is your favorite. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we are unboxing a bunch of dinosaurs that we think are going to be in the upcoming Jurassic World Dominion movie. I'm super excited for the movie, and I'm super excited to show you all these dinosaurs. So let's get started with this T-Rex. Look at this coloring here. It's got like the camouflage coloring. It's got the green and then the dark brown on the top. And on the bottom here, you can see this button that makes the sound every time the T-Rex stomps on the ground, like this. That is really cool. And if you move the tail, it moves the T-Rex's head too. This is super cool. This is one of my favorite T-Rexes right here. All right, next up is the famous Spinosaurus. Did you know that Spinosauruses are actually larger than Tyrannosaurus Rexes, and Spinosauruses are actually the largest predator dinosaur that we know of. All right, next up, we've got this gigantic Mosasaurus figure. All the fins pivot, and the mouth opens and closes. Look at those eyes, too. Did you know that Mosasauruses are actually not considered dinosaurs? They are reptiles and actually pretty closely related to snakes. That's really interesting. I didn't know that before. All right, here we go. An Indominus Rex. Look at the size of those claws on its feet. Claws on its hands, too. Wow, those are massive. It's got the spikes on the back of its head, too. Look at these two action buttons. Got one up here, and then one on the tail for the jaw. And over here, we've got a T-Rex. And look at this button on the top. When you press it, it whips its head around like it's tearing a piece of meat. Look at that. And the other button on its back moves the tail back and forth. That's pretty cool. All right, we've got another Spinosaurus. This one is colored differently. It's mostly green, and it's got the red and white stripes on the spine. Next up in our bin, we've got the Sarcophagus, and look at the coloring on this one. It's like a dark purple on top, and it's got that red and orange, and then a gray-blue belly and side as well. And check out the teeth on this thing, too. Did you know that both the Sarcophagus here and the Spinosaurus lived near water? Which means that in real life, they probably battled each other all the time for food and for territory. And speaking of Spinosauruses, here is another one. And this has the brown coloring on the side and also the red spine, just like the other Spinosauruses we've seen. And look at that, we've got another Indominus Rex in our bin. Look at the size difference between an Indominus Rex and the T-Rex toy. An Indominus Rex is bigger than the T-Rex. And I really like this T-Rex toy. It's quite controllable, as you can see with the tail. You can move its head, you can twist its head when you twist the tail, and it's got the button on the tail as well if you want to operate the mouth. Did you know that we still actually are not sure why T-Rex's front arms are so small? We're not entirely sure. I find that super interesting. Let's keep digging. Let's see what else is in here. All right. We got a Scorpius Rex right here. Did you know that these spines are actually venomous? And when they're attacked, they'll hit their opponent with this tail, and these spines will actually stay in their opponent, just like a porcupine, actually. All right, let's keep digging through our bin. Check this out. This is a really loud dinosaur. This is a Majungasaurus, and it's got the green coloring on most of its body, and then like the yellow stripes on its back. Wow, this one is quite noisy. Look at that blue coloring on its neck too. That's pretty cool. And when you move the tail on this toy, its head moves up and down too. Ooh, look at this. This one right here is a Sinoceratops. And look at all those horns on the front too. And next up in our bin, we've got a gray Allosaurus, and it's got that yellow pattern on the top of its body right there. When we press this action button, Ooh. Those are cool sound effects. And look at those teeth, too. All right, here we go. I remember this from the other Jurassic World movies. Here is the Endoraptor. It's black, and it's got that gold stripe down the side. These dinosaurs are quite sneaky in the movie. And here we've got a flying dinosaur. This is a Pteranodon. It's got the red wings on the top and like the blue-green body, and its mouth opens and closes too. And when you press the button on its back, the wings flap. All right, check it out. We've actually got 3 Dilophosauruses in this bin. Look, we've got a green one here. We've got a gray one right here. And then we've got like a dark brown one right here with the blue top. Very cool. Only a few more left. One of my favorites, a Velociraptor. It's got the gold top. Look at how shiny that is. And the blue sides. Only 3 left. Next up is the Stygimoloch. And look on its side, it's got that battle damage that you can flip open. Look at the horns on the top too. And for our final 2 dinosaurs in the bin, we've got a Dimetrodon here with the red spine. And look at that, its mouth opens and closes. And we've got a Gallimimus. It's a small little dinosaur. Its neck moves up and down though. Its arms move up and down, and its legs as well. All right, that is today's haul. I am super excited to see the Jurassic World Dominion movie when it comes out. Why don't you go ahead and comment below which dinosaur you're most excited to see in the movie. I'll see you next time. Welcome everyone back to my dinosaur channel. Recently, I just bought a bunch of new dinosaur figurines, so today we're going to be unboxing all of them. Let's get started. First up is this Tyrannosaurus Rex escape pack. Let's go ahead and open it up. And you attach the tail to the body just by clicking it in, I think. There we go. That was actually really easy. That was easier than I expected. So let's check out this T-Rex. It's got the moving tail, obviously. It's got adjustable legs, adjustable arms, and for the head, we've got this button on the top that'll open its mouth. Look at that, it's got the tongue, all those teeth right there. This is a pretty cool T-Rex. Next, let's check out the car that came in the pack. So let's go ahead and get this car out. These little twisty things on the bottom. I just love this coloring. Look at the yellow and it fades into the green and the red. That is the classic Jurassic Park look. All the doors open, front and back, so you can fit some of your favorite action figures in here. This is super neat. This might be one of my favorite dinosaur cars that I have in my collection. Let's check out the human that came in this set. So we can see it's a little child there, and then it also comes with the night vision goggles. Let's go ahead and get those night vision goggles on the kid. All right, check it out. Let's go ahead and get him seated in the car, right here in the front seat. And along comes the T-Rex. So just like in the movie, you can press down on the glass on the top here and try to break in and eat the person that's inside. This is really cool, and I really like that they released a classic looking car like this too. Next up, we've got this huge Apatosaurus figurine. Look how big this figurine is once you put it together. And this is from the new Jurassic World Legacy collection. And as you can see, we've already opened up the box and taken it out. So let me show you the fully built figure. Bam, here we go. Look at the size of this thing. This is huge. Its mouth opens and closes. Look at that detail. Even its teeth are painted properly. That looks really good. The head swivels and moves. And you can see right here that the neck moves side to side. The legs are fully functional as well. And finally, the tail too. All in all, this dinosaur is huge. It's probably from tail to the head, it might be 3 or 4 feet long. Well, I guess the box said 41 inches, so there you have it right there. That's how big it is. But this one is huge. I really like this one. Oh, here's one of my favorite ocean predators right here. This is the Mosasaurus. Let's go ahead and open this up and check it out fully put together. All right, so we've got the main body right here. The mouth already attached. Here's the tail. Let's go ahead and attach the tail, and it just clicks right in. And then in the box also comes the 4 fins. Let's click this first one in, and the second one, the third right here, and the 4th one. Here is the great Mosasaurus. This one is super long too. Maybe 3 feet long, 2 or 3 feet long. It's got all the individual teeth on the front. Could probably fit some dinosaurs in its mouth too. And the movable fins and the tail as well. And we do have some other Mosasaurus figurines in my collection, but I do notice that this one that I just bought, it's like a darker colored blue or like a purple than the other Mosasauruses that I have. So I am super excited to add this one to my dinosaur collection. Let's move on. The next one we're looking at is the Pentaceratops from the Jurassic World Dino Escape series, and this is part of the Mega Destroyers. take the dinosaur out, and over here is the cage to trap the dinosaur's head. Now we're going to take the face cage thing and we're going to put it on the Pentasaurus. All right, got it on now. So you can see that the Pentasaurus is trapped inside the cage. It can't really attack anyone or really move around that easily. But like we saw in the box, this has a breakout function. So see these two buttons on the back right here? The front one is gonna make it shake and break free. Let's check it out. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Wow, that was awesome. It broke free so easily. And the second button here, let's see what that does. Oh, so it twists from side to side when you press that button. And look at the size of the bony frill on this Pentasaurus. That is much larger than you'd see on a Triceratops. And of course it's got the horns up front here and on top as well. This is a ferocious looking dinosaur. You wouldn't want to mess with this one in the wild. Next up, we've got this multi-pack right here. Let me take off the plastic. This is the Ultimate Baryonyx Breakout Battle Damage Edition. Let's open it up and check it out. First, let's check out the Baryonyx. So we've got the body right here and the tail's right up here. Let's grab that as well. Okay, let's put the tail on the dinosaur. Clicks right in. Let's see, so this figure has one action button on it, a button right here, and it looks like that one opens and shuts the mouth. And there are no batteries required for this one, so it has no sound effects or anything like that. You can see that it's got that battle damage right there on its neck, and even a little bit on its leg as well. And in the rest of the pack, you can see we've got Owen and his motorcycle right there. And look at all these accessories. He's got a helmet, he's got body armor. Is that I think that's a radio pack of some sort maybe? And he's got some weapons right there. And let's take a look at the figure itself. So it's a fully adjustable body. You can see that its legs can bend, its arms can bend, even at the elbows as well. Its face can swivel, and on the motorcycle, the wheels spin, and it's even got a kickstand that you can put up and down. Look how tiny it is. This is a pretty cool pack. It comes with quite a few different pieces, so you have your own little dinosaur setup right here. So yeah, this one is pretty cool. I would recommend checking out this pack. All right, let's keep unboxing these new dinosaurs. Next up, we've got the Carcaradantasaurus, also from the Jurassic World Dino Escape toy line. This is also a Mega Destroyer. All right, so before we put on the cage, let's check it out. Look at the coloring on this. So it's mostly blue, and then it's got the orange on the top, but it's like speckled with that brown. And then it's got that one line of spikes along its back. Let's check out the action button right here. Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be able to break free from the cage we've got. Let's go ahead and put this on the dinosaur. Wow, that was pretty easy. All right, here we go. It's gonna break free from the cage. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Break free, come on, you can do it. All right, and there you go. This is a very neat dinosaur. Let's move on to our next one. All right, look at how many we still have in here. There's still tons more to go. Let's check out this Kentrosaurus next. Let's go ahead and put on those spikes on its sides. All right, so we've got the spikes out of the packaging. Look at the size of these spikes. So these spikes are gonna go right into the side right here. And it clicks right in there. Wow, look at that. And on the other side. And finally the tail. And it clicks right into the back. And there we go. Check out the spikes all over its body. Look at these shoulder spikes, like I was saying. Those are probably used for defense, as well as the spikes on its tail. The ginormous spikes, look at that. And we've got an action button up top here. Let's try it out and see what happens. That's pretty cool. So when you press the button, the front swivels side to side, and I bet those spikes will probably hit whoever is standing in the way when it does that. This is pretty neat. I'm liking this one. Let's check out our next dinosaur. Next up, we've got this Tyrannosaurus pack. Let's go ahead and open this one up. Sure enough, I'm pretty sure that's a baby Tyrannosaurus. But if you guys know whether it's an adult or a baby, let me know in the comments below. First, let's check out these little dinosaurs. They all look pretty identical. All of them got this green color. Plus, their mouths do open and close as well. Look at that, even how small they are. And here's the T-Rex. And this one is very adjustable. Look at that. Can adjust the ankle, at the knee, and swivel all around. The jaw will open and shut too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one is a baby dinosaur. It looks so small and cute. Look at that. And it came with what looks like, I don't know if those are bandages or something, but I think we put this on the T-Rex. And this one too. So it looks like this bandage goes onto the leg of the T-Rex right here. It straps on. They just did surgery on it, so you gotta protect that wound. And then this is a muzzle. It goes right on the jaw right there. So now it can't bite anyone. Very cool. All right, let's move on to our next dinosaur. All right, which one should we choose next? Oh, you know what? I was super excited about this one. This isn't a dinosaur, but it's a replica of a Spinosaurus tooth. Look at the size of that. Let's open it up. Wow, look at the size of that tooth. That's like 3 or 4 inches long, or even longer. And this replica here is very detailed. It's got cracks all over, and the painting is like black on the top. This is very cool. This will look great on one of my shelves. All right, let's keep going. Here's another one. This is the Ceratosaurus. There we go. All right, so we've got the body right here, and then the tail. It's tucked away inside the box. Let's get that out too. And let's attach the tail to the body. Clicks right in. There we go. All right, here is the Ceratosaurus. We've got this action button on top. Let's try that out. Very interesting. So it's actually a few different buttons in one. So the more you slide it up, the more it opens its mouth. Very cool. And check out the horn right on the nose. This dinosaur is awesome. All right, let's check out our next dinosaur. All right, here we go with our next dinosaur. Let's get it out of the bag. All right, check this out. This looks like a Mosasaurus, and it could be, I'm not entirely sure, but I will say, look at the spikes on the back. Those are some really sharp spikes. I mean, they won't hurt me if I poke, but in real life, those would hurt a lot, I think. Very cool. Let's go with this one right here. Wow, check this one out. This is a Spinosaurus. Check it out. There's that huge spine on its back. Its mouth opens and closes. This one is a little bit smaller than our other Spinosaurus figures, but I will say this one has a bit more detail with the painting. And look at those teeth right there. Those are some mean teeth. Did you know that Spinosauruses actually did a lot of hunting in the water? I didn't know that before, but I recently found that out. This is very cool. Let's check out our other dinosaurs. I see another cool looking one right here. All right, this is an Endoraptor, but it looks a bit different than the other ones that I have because look at this orange coloring on the side. That is unique to this Endoraptor. I haven't seen that before. And this one is more like a model because the arms and legs don't move. So it's in this like crawling pose right there. But that is pretty neat. I like this one. All right, and in this bag, oh, look at that. This is an Indominus Rex. And this one is also more like a model figure. The arms and legs don't move, but this one has great detail as well. Look at that on its side. Look at the spikes on its back and on its teeth, its tongue. Huge attention to detail, which is really cool. And next up, looks like we've got a 3-pack of, it says pterodactyls. Let's take a look. So we've got our first one here. And our second pterodactyl. This has different coloring and is a bit bigger. Look at the back too. And the third one. Although, this is a very different looking pterodactyl. Do you know if this is a pterodactyl? Why don't you let me know in the comments below. Is this a pterodactyl or is this a different type of flying dinosaur? That was super exciting unboxing all these dinosaurs. Thanks for joining and I'll see you next time. Be sure to subscribe. Welcome back, everyone. I'm super excited to get started with you today. Today we are unboxing from my collection all of my King Kong and Godzilla figurines. Let's get started with this Mecha Godzilla figure right here. This one's ginormous. With the tail, it might be 2 feet long in total. This is really cool. It's got the opening and closing claws in the front, movable arms, movable legs, the tail swivels, and the face is just awesome too. Look at that. Look at those eyes. That's so cool. Next up, we got this ginormous King Kong figure right here. The arms go up and down. Even the wrists are adjustable. His jaw opens and closes just a little bit. But one of the coolest features is it's got this swiveling action. So you can set him up like this, and if you want him to punch other figurines, wham, 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 wham. So this one is about a foot tall as well. So this is one of my largest King Kong and Godzilla figurines as well. All right, moving on to the ginormous Godzilla right over here. This is the biggest Godzilla figurine that I have in my collection, and look at it. Standing up, I'd say it's probably around a foot high, but look how big its body is, and then its tail. It might even go maybe 2 or 3 feet as well. I really like using this Godzilla figurine in our battles because it's so big and so scary looking. All right, moving on, we've got another King Kong figure right here. A little bit smaller than the last one, but check it out. You can see it's got some battle damage. It doesn't require any batteries or anything like that, so it doesn't make any noise, but this one's still pretty large as well. Look how big that is. All right, let's take a look at this blue Godzilla right here. It looks a little bit like a old school classic Godzilla, but look at this blue finish that it has all over. And the gold tipped claws right there too. Look at that face, got the red eyes. You can see the tongue and the teeth right there. And of course, the spikes on its back. And these ones, for this figure, are blue, like the rest of its body. This one is one of my favorite Godzilla figurines right here. Check out the coloring on this and like the flexibility with its tail. This one is super dynamic with how you can move it. And even with its face, check it out. But the reason that I like this one is because it's fire. Look at that. It's ferocious. It's got like the spikes, but they're like flaming spikes. So this one is really cool. One of my favorites. Next up is this figurine from the Godzilla series. And this is the Anguirus Figurine from the Godzilla Final Wars collection. Look at all these spikes on its back, and interestingly, they're all kind of like facing forward. Do you see that? You've got the long tail here with the spikes at the end. And check out that face. That is a mean looking face, and it's got those horns on the top of its head also facing forward as well. That's very interesting. And here we've got a smaller King Kong figure, and this one does have sound effects in it. See this button in the back right here? Let's go ahead and press that and see what happens. It's making that snarling face. And it's got movable arms, movable legs, and all that. Which one should we pull out next? Let's try this Godzilla right here. Another large Godzilla action figure. This time, it's got the purple spikes on its back, the 3 ridges, the 3 lines going down its back, movable legs, movable arms, and even the tail swivels as well. This is a pretty lightweight figurine though. You can tell that it's hollow on the inside, and you can actually see that it's kind of squished. Not sure why that is, but it is hollow. We've got another large Godzilla figurine right here, very similar to the last purple one, but instead, this figurine is blue. So it's got the blue spikes on its back, the 3 lines of spikes. The tail moves just like the other one, the legs and the arms. And look at that face. It's got those red eyes too. Oh my goodness, we have so many Godzilla figurines in here. Look at this other one. This is another one of those super adjustable figures. Look at how its tail moves. And its arms has a lot of points of articulation. And its legs. Check out that face right there. Now look at the painting on those spikes and even on the rest of its body. You can tell it's super textured. It looks very realistic, which I really like. Now look what we have here. Another Godzilla figurine. Oh, a Mecha Godzilla. But it's like a miniature version. It's like a model. So it's got that huge head and the little body and tail. And none of the parts move on this one, so this is more of a collectible. But still looks very cool. I think I'll end up putting this one on my shelf. Alright, I see a gold one down here. I think this is another one of the big Godzilla figurines. Yeah, so this one's around the same size as the blue and purple one, but instead, as you can see, it is gold all over the body and on the spikes and the tail. Everywhere has that gold coloring on it, and it's like, see with the texture, it's like mixing with black, which is really cool. What's this one over here? Let's see. Oh, look at this. This is a King Kong figure. It's got the longer arms than what the other figures had. And its face is even meaner than the other figures we've seen so far. Look at that. Let's dig in here and pull out another Godzilla. This is another one of those Godzilla figurines that's like super detailed. Look at that blue, and there's like a little bit of white as the highlight. And I just love these figures. You can even move its neck around so you can turn its head. You can move its arms. You can swivel them. All right, here it is. So I believe that this is the atomic breath attachment for this dinosaur. So what you can do is actually open its mouth and then fit it right in its mouth, and it'll stay there. So if you're doing like a stop motion video or taking pictures with him, it'll look like he's shooting the atomic breath out from him. Very neat. Next up, we've got this Godzilla figurine with a super long tail, and this one is from the 2016 Shin Godzilla movie. So let's see, we've got, it's like glowing red chest and that same glowing red along its back with the spikes. It's got a mean looking face. and then the glowing red at the end of the tail as well. Look how long that tail is. That's like longer than the body of Godzilla. All right, let's see what else we've got. Oh, look at this one. So this is a Godzilla, but this is the third form Godzilla. So you can see you've got its legs starting to stick out there, and it's still got the spiked back, the 3 rows, and it's got a fully functional mouth and eyes, but the arms have not quite come through yet. And again, even with this one too, look at the length of that tail. That's probably longer than the length of the body. Very cool. And here we've got a smaller King Kong figure. And you can see on the chest, just like some of the other ones, it's got the battle damage, the 3 stripes from getting slashed by Godzilla or a dinosaur, and it swivels on its waist and its arms. And there's no batteries for this one either, so there's no sounds or lights or anything on this one. But it's still a cooler King Kong figure to have. It's about, I don't know, maybe 6 inches tall. All right, let's keep digging. Ooh, you know what? I see another Mechagodzilla figurine right here. It's about 6 inches tall, and it's got a lot going on. I believe these are rockets on its shoulders, and there's just like so much gear, it looks like, all over its body. And this does have a metallic shine on it as well, even though it's made of plastic. It looks fairly close to metal, and I believe this version of Mechagodzilla is from the 2002 movie called Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. But let me know in the comments below if you've seen this one in another movie too. Let's keep digging. Let's see what we find here. Oh, here is a very large King Kong figure. You can see some battle damage on its chest. It's got this chain wrapped around its hand. It doesn't move, but it's there all the time. You can move the arm up and down. And this one doesn't require batteries either, so there's no sound effects or lights, but it swivels, its arms moves up and down. And this one stands at about maybe a foot tall as well, so it's very comparable to some of the other King Kong figures that we have. And here is another King Kong figure, a bit smaller. Look at that, it's got this like white snow finish all over it. So I think this is the Arctic Kong figurine. You can tell that he's been working and fighting in the snow. This figure is a bit smaller than some of our other King Kong figures, but I must admit, I do like this one a bit more because it is so adjustable with its arms and legs. You can do almost any pose with this figure, which I think is super cool. All right, we've still got a lot more in here. Let's keep going. Ooh, check out this Gigan figurine from the Godzilla series. And this one is pretty colorful. You've probably noticed that with a lot of our Godzilla figurines, a lot of them are like darker colors. So I definitely appreciate that this figure from the Godzilla series has this bright red on the back. So this one really pops. Let's look at its face. It's got this massive horn on the top, and then even right next to its mouth on the sides, you can see it's got those horns there. So this one, I'm sure, would be very lethal to battle against. Look at those. And now we've got a smaller Godzilla figurine, very similar to the other ones we've had, but it's got the black body and then the very shiny blue spikes on its back. This one's jaw doesn't open and close, but the arms and legs are movable too. So this one's still pretty usable and versatile. And look here, we've got another similar Godzilla figurine, but look at the spikes on the back. In this one, they're like kind of see-through. You can see my finger on the other side, but there's still like a cool blue hue to them. And on this one, the jaw does open and shut as well. Look at that. See that? Look at that, attention to detail right there. And the tail swivels too. Let's keep going. Next one is this Godzilla figurine here, which I believe is the second form Godzilla. So check it out. You can see its arms are starting to form on its side right there. but it's already got the spikes on the top. It's got the red in the front, and its mouth and head is pretty close to fully formed as well. So this is a pretty cool one to have in my collection. Let's see. Ooh, we've got another smaller King Kong figure right here. But unlike the other one that had the snow on the top, this one's got, I think that's the atomic breath coloring on its arms and a little bit on its side too. You can see a little bit of blue. Ooh, and a little bit of blue on its chin too. So just like the other smaller Kong figure that we saw, the arms and legs are very adjustable, which I really like. All right, here we've got another Godzilla figurine, and check out the fiery coloring on its chest, on its legs, and look at that on its spikes on its back. I like how it fades into the fiery orange color. Look at that mean look on his face. His head swivels back and forth. The arms are moving, the tail spins. And this is a medium-sized figure, I'd say. But I do love that fire coloring on its body. And here we've got a smaller Godzilla figurine. And once again, we've got the black body, but a different colored spikes. We've had blue, we've seen some, I think we had some red ones and some orange ones. This one is purple, check that out. And these spikes are huge too. That's probably like 2 or 3 inches on its back. And as usual, tail moves, the legs move, the arms move, but on this one, the head doesn't move, so it's looking just straight forward. And look at those eyes on it too. See that little blue dot in its eyes. I see right here is another smaller King Kong figurine, and once again, check out the movability on its arms and its legs. And like the other ones, I forgot to mention earlier, but these do have this battle damage right on its shoulder. So when you take it off, you can see the red underneath as if he's wounded. So you can take that on and off while you're playing with a toy. And for this one, we've got the battle axe ready in hand for a fight. Check out that battle axe. All right, let's see what else we've got. Oh, look at here. This is the Mothra larva from the Tokyo SOS movie. And look at that, you can even twist its neck side to side like that. And I believe we actually have the Mothra adult figure right here as well, from the same movie. Look at the coloring on its wings too. And it's got that little itty bitty face and arms. But yeah, these wings are ginormous. Very neat. All right, we're just about done with this bin. I can see this other Godzilla figurine. Look at this, it's got the orange coloring in the front, and it's got the orange on the spikes as well. The head swivels, the legs move, the arms move. And this is another, like, I'd say medium-sized Godzilla figurine right here. That is awesome. All right, look at this one. This is the Rodan figurine from the Godzilla series. And look at the wingspan on this. And it's got the yellow body, and you can tell that that's like armor plating on it right there. So this one's pretty protected. It's got the beak, and I think those are horns on it as well. Tell me in the comments below, do you remember in what movie Rodan fought Godzilla? Comment below and let me know. All right, we're just about done. We've got a lot of little figurines in here. Let's go through them really quickly. So we've got a bunch of small Godzillas right here. You can see this one's blue with black. See this one's like mostly black. Check out this one here. It's got the blue spikes. Oh, and look at this one. We saw this version of Godzilla a little bit earlier. Do you remember that orange coloring? We've got this other smaller Godzilla. Check this one out. This is a miniature Mechagodzilla, and look at those rockets on its shoulders too. That is intimidating. All right, that is it for today's video. Thanks so much for joining. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Want to see more dino videos? Click the subscribe button now.